This year, I went into Songdung, which is the world's largest cave. It's this massive opening, 6 miles of underground cave.
Hello?
What if I told you that beneath your feet right now, hidden in the darkness, lie ancient cities and temples that challenge everything we thought we knew about human history? From crystallized sacrifice chambers to underground metropolises that house 20,000 people, these subterranean discoveries are rewriting archaeology textbooks and leaving experts with more questions than answers. Today, we're descending into the most mysterious underground ruins ever found, structures so advanced, so impossible, that some believe they shouldn't exist at all. The Crystal Maiden's final moments. Deep in the jungles of Belize lies the Actun Tunichil Muknal cave, a place the ancient Maya believed was a gateway to the underworld. But this isn't just another tourist attraction, this is where archaeologists discovered something that still gives them chills. The Maya were known for two things: incredible intelligence that produced advanced calendars and stunning architecture, and brutal sacrificial rituals that often involved children. The ATM cave was their sacred killing ground, where young lives were offered to appease the gods of the underworld. The most famous victim is someone whose name we'll never know, the Crystal Maiden. This young person's skeletal remains became perfectly crystallized into the cave rock over centuries, creating a haunting natural monument to ancient horror. Her twisted limbs tell a story of her final agonizing moments, frozen in time as calcium deposits slowly encased her bones. What makes this discovery so unsettling isn't just the evidence of human sacrifice, it's how perfectly preserved everything is. The cave's unique mineral composition created a natural time capsule, preserving not just bones but pottery, tools, and evidence of rituals that took place over 1,000 years ago. Scientists studying the site have found that the Maya specifically chose this cave because of its geological properties, understanding chemistry in ways we're only beginning to appreciate. The site is so sensitive that cameras are now banned after a tourist accidentally damaged one of the artifacts. But perhaps that's fitting. Some secrets of the ancient world are meant to be experienced, not photographed. Jerusalem's necromancy chamber. In the hills outside Jerusalem, archaeologists stumbled upon something that reads like a dark fantasy novel: the Toming Cave, also known as the Cave of the Twins. This wasn't just another ancient burial site. This was a full-scale necromancy operation from the late Roman period. Between 2010 and 2016, researchers discovered over 120 intact oil lamps deliberately placed in narrow crevices throughout the cave. These weren't left by accident or lost by ancient travelers. They were carefully positioned as part of elaborate rituals designed to communicate with the dead. Mixed among these lamps, archaeologists found human skulls, ancient weapons, and pottery fragments spanning different time periods. The evidence suggests that for centuries, people came to this cave specifically to perform dark magic, to speak with spirits, predict the future, and tap into what they believed were supernatural powers. The cave also contained evidence of an ancient alabaster quarry dating back to the Middle Bronze Age, suggesting it was considered sacred long before the Romans arrived. Historical texts from the period actually document witch trials taking place in similar caves, confirming that these weren't isolated incidents, but part of a widespread practice. What's truly remarkable is how the cave's acoustics naturally amplify whispers and create eerie echoes, almost as if it was designed by nature itself for supernatural communication. Modern sound engineers studying the site have found that certain frequencies produced inside the cave create psychological effects that could explain why ancient peoples believed they were hearing voices from beyond. The impossibly perfect underground city. Beneath the volcanic landscape of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies Derinkuyu, an underground city so massive and sophisticated that it challenges our understanding of ancient engineering. This isn't just a cave or a simple shelter. This is a fully functioning metropolis that could house 20,000 people, complete with multiple levels, ventilation systems, and defensive mechanisms that would impress modern military engineers. Carved entirely from soft volcanic tuff, Derinkuyu extends at least 18 levels deep, though only a portion is accessible today. The city included residential quarters, communal kitchens with stone-carved stoves, food storage areas, and even spaces for livestock. The ventilation system is perhaps most impressive, a network of shafts that provided fresh air to every level while cleverly masking smoke from cooking fires to avoid detection by enemies above. But here's what makes Derinkuyu truly extraordinary: its defense system. Massive circular stone doors, some weighing several tons, could seal off entire sections from the inside. Each level could be completely isolated, creating a maze designed to disorient and trap any invaders brave enough to venture inside. The psychological warfare built into the architecture shows a level of strategic thinking that rivals modern military installations. The origins of Derinkuyu remain hotly debated. While some archaeologists suggest it was built by the Phrygians in the 8th and 7th centuries BCE, others point to evidence of much earlier construction. The precision of the carving, the complexity of the engineering, and the sheer scale of the project seem almost impossible for the tools and knowledge available at the time. Recent ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed that Derinkuyu may be even larger than previously thought, with unexplored sections extending deeper into the earth. Some researchers theorize that it connects to other underground cities in the region through a vast network of tunnels, creating a subterranean civilization that spanned hundreds of miles. Iran's vanishing underground refuge. In the heart of Iran lies Noushabad, an underground city that tells a story of survival, ingenuity, and possibly something far more sinister. Dating back to the Sasanian era around the 5th century CE, this 3-kilometer labyrinth was carved from soft volcanic rock to serve as a refuge from surface invasions. When threats appeared above ground, entire communities could vanish into this subterranean maze, disappearing so completely that invading armies would find only empty villages. The underground city included living quarters, storage areas, places of worship, and everything needed for extended stays in the darkness below. The engineering is remarkable. The temperature remains constant year-round, making it a perfect refuge from Iran's harsh climate. Ventilation shafts provide fresh air throughout the complex, while hidden entrances could be sealed from within, making detection nearly impossible. But local legends speak of darker purposes. Some stories claim that certain tunnels were used to house prisoners, and that the spirits of those who died in captivity still wander the passages. Visitors to Noushabad have reported unexplained cold spots, strange echoes, and the feeling of being watched in areas where no one else is present. Archaeological evidence suggests that parts of the complex may have been used for purposes beyond simple refuge. Some chambers contain features that don't match typical living spaces, stone fixtures that could have been used for restraint, drainage systems that seem designed for washing away evidence, and rooms with only one entrance that could easily become death traps. The Hellfire Caves Dark Brotherhood. Beneath the rolling hills of Buckinghamshire, England, lies a network of man-made tunnels that housed one of history's most notorious secret societies. The Hellfire Caves stretch 260 meters underground, carved in the 18th century by Sir Francis Dashwood for his exclusive Brotherhood of St. Francis. This wasn't just a gentleman's club. This was a gathering place for some of England's most powerful figures, including William Hogarth and John Wilkes. Even Benjamin Franklin, though not officially a member, was a frequent visitor to these underground chambers. Their motto, "Do what thou wilt," perfectly captured their hedonistic philosophy. The caves were designed for elaborate pagan-inspired rituals that scandalized even the liberal standards of the 18th century English society. Members held wild feasts featuring excessive drinking, elaborate costumes, and ceremonies that local villagers whispered were devil worship. Some accounts speak of human sacrifice, though historians debate whether these were actual rituals or elaborate theatrical performances designed to shock and intimidate. The architecture of the caves themselves tells a story of deliberate psychological manipulation. Narrow passages suddenly open into vast chambers, creating a sense of disorientation. Strange acoustics amplify whispers while muffling screams. The temperature remains unnaturally cold, adding to the supernatural atmosphere that the Brotherhood cultivated. 2 ghosts are said to haunt the tunnels. Suki, a young maid allegedly killed during a prank gone wrong, and Paul Whitehead, the Brotherhood's former steward, whose heart was actually preserved in the caves according to his final wishes. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures in 18th century dress and hearing the echo of long-dead laughter in the deeper chambers. Modern investigations using electromagnetic field detectors and thermal imaging have recorded unexplained phenomena in the caves, lending credence to centuries of supernatural reports. Whether these are genuine paranormal activities or simply the cave's unique geology affecting sensitive equipment remains a mystery. The sealed catacombs of Paris. Beneath the romantic streets of Paris lies one of the world's most macabre attractions, the catacombs, home to the remains of over 6 million people. But what most tourists never learn is that the mapped and accessible tunnels represent only a small fraction of this underground empire of the dead. The story begins in the late 18th century when Paris faced a public health crisis. Overcrowded cemeteries were contaminating water supplies and spreading disease. City officials decided to move remains from multiple graveyards into abandoned limestone quarries beneath the city. What followed was one of the most massive undertakings in urban planning history. Workers didn't simply dump bones into the tunnels. They created elaborate artistic displays, arranging skulls and femurs into intricate patterns that line the walls for miles. Hearts made of skulls, crosses constructed from arm bones, and messages spelled out in human teeth create a surreal underground gallery that seems more like dark art than a practical solution to overcrowding. But here's what makes the Paris catacombs truly mysterious: the sealed sections. City authorities have deliberately closed off vast portions of the tunnel network, officially citing safety concerns. However, urban explorers who have ventured into restricted areas tell stories that suggest something more sinister may be hidden in the darkness. These cataphiles report finding chambers filled with more recent remains, suggesting the catacombs may have been used for clandestine purposes well into the modern era. Some tunnels contain evidence of World War II resistance activities, while others show signs of more recent occupation, sleeping areas, food supplies, and equipment that seems far too contemporary for a tourist attraction. The French government maintains tight security around the sealed areas, with motion sensors, cameras, and regular patrols. They claim this is simply to protect the integrity of the historical site. But the level of security seems excessive for empty tunnels filled only with centuries-old bones. Recent ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed that the underground network extends far beyond what appears on any official map. Some estimates suggest there may be hundreds of miles of additional tunnels, creating an entire shadow city beneath Paris that remains completely unexplored by mainstream archaeology. These underground ruins prove our ancestors were far more advanced than we ever imagined. The same brilliance that engineered impossible cities also created chambers for the darkest human rituals. Every carved stone represents knowledge and beliefs we can barely comprehend today. What other secrets remain buried beneath our feet, waiting to rewrite history? If these hidden mysteries fascinate you, hit that like button and subscribe for more discoveries that will change how you see the ancient world.